Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for joining this morning Srimad Bhagavatam class at ISKCON Nepal. We'll begin with the prayers to our disciplic succession for us to be able to connect to this beautiful Srimad Bhagavatam and the glories of the Lord's form and beauty and the auspiciousness, which is the essence of today's verse. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनाशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वापदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधारा श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 रामा राम राम हरे हरे नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयम् उदीरयेत् शुश्रूषोश्रद्धानस्य वासुदेवाकधारुचि स्यान्महत्सेवया विप्रा पुण्यतीर्थानि सेवनात् शृण्वतां स्वकथा कृष्णा पुण्यश्रवणकीर्तना हृदयन्तस्थो ह्यभद्राणि विधुनोति सुहृत्सताम् नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी तथा रजस्तमो भावा कामलोभादयश्च ये चेत एतदनाविद्धं स्थितं सत्त्वे प्रसीदति एवं प्रसन्नमनसो भगवद्भक्तियोगतः भगवत्तत्त्वविज्ञानं मुक्तसङ्गस्य जायते भिद्यते हृदयग्रन्थिश्छिद्यन्ते सर्वसंशया क्षीयन्ते चास्य कर्माणि दृष्ट एवात्मनीश्वरे. We'll also recite the prayers of glorification of Srimad Bhagavatam from Sanatana Goswami. सर्वशास्त्राभिपीयूषा सर्ववेदैकसत्फला सर्वसिद्धान्तरत्नाढ्या सर्वलोकैकदृक्पथा सर्वभागवता प्राणा श्रीमद्भागवता प्रभो कलिद्वन्द्वोदितादित्या श्रीकृष्णा परिवर्तिता परमानन्दपाठाय प्रेमवर्षक्षराय ते सर्वदा सर्वसेव्याय श्रीकृष्णाय नमोऽस्तुते मदेकबन्धुमत्सङ्गिन् मद्गुरु मन्महाधना मन्निष्ठारकमद्भाग्या मदानन्दा नमोऽस्तुते असाधु साधुतादायिन् अतिनीचोच्चताकरा हानमुञ्च कदाचिन्मां प्रेम्ण हृत्कण्ठयोस्फुरा. ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna, welcome again, all of you, for this Srimad Bhagavatam class. I see all of you seniors here. I don't have any qualification to speak on this elevated subject matter of Lord Krishna's beauty, but I seek all of your blessings for me to share something from what I have heard and a little something what is coming to me by the grace of Guru and Krishna, little appreciation that I have for this verse. And kindly correct me if I say anything which is not in line with the parampara. So today's verse is Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 11, Text 8. I will share my screen. So we were discussing this, the Dwarakavasis, how they are receiving the Lord, how happy they are. And from their side, we can understand how they have been missing Lord Krishna, and they were so eager for the Lord to come back and again to be able to see him and be under the protection. But what is really beautiful and heart touching is how Krishna is also eager. Sometimes if we go on vacation to India, I remember this Prabhu and kids are here. I went to India, and it's like, so much we are lost in meeting all relatives, parents, this and that. Even though at the back of our mind we have the family here, but it's not like we are really missing them because we are so busy there with that family members. But here we can see Krishna, how eager he is to see them, that as soon as he was about to enter Dwaraka, he blew this conch shell inviting all of them to come so soon. Like he couldn't even wait until he could go to the actual palaces to see them. So all these Dwarkavasis are like running. It's just so beautiful to see that the reciprocation from both the sides. It's not that it's only we are struggling and striving so much to go to the Lord, but the Lord is also equally eager for all of us as his parts and parcels to come back to him, to see us and to have that relationship with us. So this text 8, it's actually talking about the fortune of being able to see the Lord. So we heard the prayers of Dwarakavasi start from verse 6, where they're talking about the supremacy of the Lord. They're starting like, you are, Virincha, Vairincha, Surendra Vanditam. You are worshipped by everyone, like the topmost people in this world. You're that kind of a person, and you have come to us today. And then in text 7, yesterday Prabhu was so beautifully describing how they have this intimate feeling, that intimate relationship, how they're seeing Krishna as everyone, their mother, father, everything that they could think. And the other thing which was really touching for me is all these three verses, they're talking about this, how this fortune or auspiciousness. The first verse, I think the third line, it says, Parayanam Kshema Mihechatam Param. It's like the supreme benefit, benediction. And in the second, the verse 7, it says, Yasyanu Kritino Bhabuvima, how we have become successful just by following your instructions and your footsteps. And here again, they're saying in the last line, Pashema Rupam Tava Sarva Saubhagam. So they're like emphasizing and re-emphasizing this aspect of Krishna, how wonderful and how auspicious, how successful, just by being able to see him and being in contact with him. So just understanding and appreciating their mood, their deep relationship and that intimacy, we all can pray that by their mercy, we have been told it's only by devotees' mercy we will get a glimpse of being able to see the Lord or being with the Lord. So we'll all pray to these wonderful devotees who are expressing their hearts so beautifully, so joyfully, for us also to have a glimpse and be able to connect to the Lord in that same way. So we'll begin today's verse. This is 1:11:8 again. Aho sanatha bhavata smayadvayam त्रैविष्टपानामपि दूरदर्शनम् प्रेमस्मितस्निग्धनिरीक्षणाननम् पश्येम रूपं तव सर्वसौभगम् अहो सनाथा भवता स्मयद्वयम् त्रैविष्टपानामपि दूरदर्शनम् प्रेमस्मितस्निग्धनिरीक्षणाननम् पश्येम रूपं तव सर्वसौभगम्. Word to word. Aho, oh, it is our good luck. Sanatha, to be under the protection of the Master. Bhavata, by your good self. Sma, as we have become. Yet vayam, as we are. Traivishtapanam, of the demigods. Api, also. Duradarshanam, very rarely seen. Prema smita, smiling with love. Snigdha, affectionate. Nirikshana ananam, face looking in that mode. Pashyema, let us look. Rupam, beauty. Tava, your. Sarva, all. Saubhagam, auspiciousness. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Oh, it is our good luck that we have come again today under your protection by your presence. For your Lordship rarely visits even the denizens of heaven. Now it is possible for us to look into your smiling face, which is full of affectionate glances. We can now see your transcendental form, full of auspiciousness. Purport. The Lord in His eternal personal form can be seen only by the pure devotees. The Lord is never impersonal, but He is the supreme absolute personality of Godhead, possible to be visited by devotional service face to face, which is impossible to be done even by the denizens of higher planets. When Brahmaji and other demigods want to consult Lord Vishnu, the plenary portion of Lord Krishna, they have to wait on the shore of the ocean of milk, where Lord Vishnu is lying on white land, Shvetadvipa. This ocean of milk and the Shvetadvipa planet are the replica of Vaikuntha Loka within the universe. Neither Brahmaji nor the demigods like Indra can enter into this island of Shvetadvipa, but they can stand on the shore of the ocean of milk and transmit their message to Lord Vishnu, known as Kshirodakashayi Vishnu. Therefore, the Lord is rarely seen by them, but the inhabitants of Dwaraka, because of their being pure devotees without any tinge of the material contamination of fruitive activities and empiric philosophical speculation, can see Him face to face by the grace of the Lord. This is the original state of the living entities and can be attained by reviving our natural and constitutional state of life, which is discovered by devotional service only. So they're saying, Aho Sanatha Bhavatasmayadvayam. So we'll go line by line here. So this first line, if we see, they're describing we have become Sanatha from having no protection, though even though Krishna is far away, they still have the protection, but they're longing for that personal association and personal protection. So they're saying, Sanatha, we have again come under your protection, under the master like you. And we can relate for all of us here who are struggling in this material world. We are also like, looking for that kind of a master. Prabhupada says we have this innate mood of service that we always want to serve someone some way. If we don't have anyone, Prabhupada keeps saying this, we at least serve a dog. So we are all looking for this master to be able to serve him. But what kind of a master we need? If we see the kind of masters, or the managers or whatnot we have here, even in the family, wife serves husband, husband serves wife, and parents serve kids. These kind of masters, they're not really happy. The way we are seeing here is prema smita snigdha nirikshananam. I don't know how many of us could really feel that kind of affectionate, pleasing glances from the master. Just think of the managers. I'm thinking, even when we do such a good job, the managers are really, afraid to show their happiness. Even if they're happy, they're like, oh, if I show my happiness, they may take advantage. So it's like, okay, yeah, you did a decent job. They won't really show their real emotions. But here we are seeing what kind of a master Krishna is. And they're actually appreciating the Dwarakavasis, that kind of a master. We have come under the protection of you. And how did they come under that? It is our good luck that we have come again today under your protection by your presence. And we can see in the end of the purport, Prabhupada writes, by your grace. So it's not that Dwarakavasis are saying, okay, it's our, entitlement that we have to be under your protection. You have taken the vow, for Dwarakavasis or the queens, if you see, Krishna has married them and it's his responsibility to protect them. But they're not taking in that kind of a mode that, okay, it's your responsibility to take care of us. They're saying it is such a fortune for us that you have come again and giving us this protection. So it's really very heart touching how they are recognizing the value of the blessing, the value of the fortune that they have received. Most of the times we struggle, though we have this process, though we have all kinds of, opulences we can imagine in terms of Srimad Bhagavatam, holy name and devotee association. We take it for granted and we're like, okay, I need something else. I need this or that. Okay, why is this not happening? Why is that not happening? But here they are, the Dwarakavasis, after this long, long time Krishna is absent. They're not saying, okay, why did you stay up so long? The battle is over. You could have just come back. Can't you think of us? They're not in that mode. They're actually expressing their appreciation and acknowledging and recognizing the value of what they have received. So that was really beautiful from the first line. And then the second line, Traivishtapanam apidura darshanam. So here, for your lordship rarely visits even the denizens of heaven. We are hearing this Lord Brahma's prayers that Guru Maharaj, that my spiritual master is speaking, the whole section, how Brahma is able to visit Vrindavan, but that's like such a rarest of rare opportunity that he has got. And when he begins the prayers, actually Lord Brahma is expressing, I'm seeing your form, but I'm not seeing. I can't really understand your form. So it's we can understand what it means to be able to really see Krishna. And the devotees here are expressing that you're not visiting even this denizens or Brahma. Brahma is like the topmost person. We can imagine like, the CEO of the company, at least to the head person, like vice president or whoever is the next highest, they will be able to see the, topmost person of the company, to have the interactions and stuff. But here is Lord Brahma, who is the creator of these universes and who has directly received these instructions from Krishna. Even for him, it's so rare that they don't really able to see Krishna. And Prabhupada explains in the purport here how whenever they have some difficulty or they have to talk to the Lord or share some message, they go to this Shweta Dvipa, but they're not able to directly go and talk to him. They just stand on that ocean of that, stand on the shore of that ocean of milk and just say these prayers. And I was hearing this lecture by my spiritual master. He's mentioning they can't even directly talk, even on the shore when they're saying all these prayers, and when the Lord responds, they can't really understand. They can't even hear from the Lord the message. So Brahma actually hears that and he further transmits the message to denizens. So we can understand, I mean, getting this reciprocation and being able to see the Lord face to face and being able to talk to him, it's just unimaginable. We cannot even, fathom the kind of opportunity that the Dwarikavasis has. And on that lines, I was thinking about this, the opportunity that we, each of us have. We may think, okay, Dwarikavasis are pure devotees, they have that kind of opportunities, but I'm not sure if I'll ever be able to have, such a fortune or such opportunity. But it's just by the grace of the acharyas and especially Srila Prabhupada that we are having this opportunity to see the Lord face to face in his deity form. I was thinking, I mean, we are never barred from seeing the Lord's form. Whoever walks into the temple, they are given the opportunity, like deities are right at the center of the temple, whichever side of the temple hall we are in, we will be able to see the form. And we definitely feel something, even if we don't know anything and like anything about the Lord's form or beauty. But when we see the deities, it does touch the heart, even for like a brand new person walking into the temple for the first time, just looking at the deity. So that is really the beauty and the potency of seeing this deity form. And we can understand how one side it's so rare, but on the other side, how easily we have been given this opportunity. Of course, it's not exactly same as the Dwarikavasis or Vrajavasis seeing Krishna face to face, but yet we have been given this opportunity by cultivating that kind of a mood, by hearing these pastimes, by praying to these devotees. In that mode, when we serve the deities, by Krishna's grace, as Dwarikavasis are expressing here, by his grace, we may be given this opportunity to have that face-to-face interactions with the Lord and be able to see him like in person. Of course, some devotees have that kind of very elevated devotees, even who are here living. I have heard some stories where they could personally feel that reciprocation with the deities, who have like served the deities and attached to the deities so deeply. Krishna reveals. So that is again Krishna's grace and his kindness, his unlimited and completely causeless mercy. So that is the Dura Darshanam, such a rare opportunity to see the Lord. By his grace, we are actually given the opportunity for all the living entities and particularly for the devotees. And next line is Prema Smita Snigdha Nirikshanananam. And this is really the, what do you say, the heart capturing description of Krishna's beauty. We keep hearing from Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita also, but mainly Srimad Bhagavatam, many places about Krishna's beauty and Krishna's lotus face. And this is just the first canto. The other day, Vamshidhari Prabhu was mentioning, we see all these intimate interactions and these kind of the what do you call, intimate emotions and feelings, that kind of a relationship with the Lord only in 10th canto. But here we are in first canto, we are actually getting a glimpse of it, and what kind of a beauty Krishna has, and what kind of a, expressions he has. And it's so beautiful. I mean, just the Sanskrit, the words itself, as we are seeing, prema smita snigdha, it's like so sweet just to recite these words. And I was really appreciating this. Narada Muni requesting Vyasadeva that please compose this literature for direct glorification, talking directly about the Lord. All the Upanishads and those literature, they're not really talking about, this intimate relationships and this kind of description of beauty of the Lord. They're just talking about his like supremacy and in terms of opulences. But here we are getting this the glimpse of what we can expect in 10th canto. So that is actually kind of, when we hanker for that, that can propel us to keep our connection with Srimad Bhagavatam and keep moving from first canto uh, by canto to canto, as Prabhupada suggests, to 10th canto, to be able to have this full picture of this, the relationship and this beauty and all these descriptions, which are actually heart capturing. We were so fortunate that His Holiness Rampa Swami Maharaj, thanks to this COVID lockdown time, he has done enormous number of lectures on this 10th canto pastimes, though we are not qualified to hear, but by his mercy, he is actually invoking the mercy of all the acharyas and reading their commentaries, trying to understand their appreciation from their view, at the same time being protected not to take these pastimes cheaply, but being able to hear these pastimes from the Acharya Parampara. So that can really capture us to hanker for that. And I mean, I have this thing, I keep going, I don't have taste for chanting, what do I do? And these kind of thoughts keep coming. But this is something we can capture here, what is in store for us. And when we understand what is there, that can actually motivate us to keep continuing to practice. Though I don't have that taste, but here are these devotees who are, I mean, devotees from Srimad Bhagavatam, even uh, outside, as we hear, even in our congregation, there are so many wonderful devotees who have such deep taste for the holy name and Srimad Bhagavatam. Just by serving those devotees, by praying to them, their mercy, we will also be given that kind of opportunity to have that kind of a taste. So, yeah, the other point I was thinking with respect to this Prema Smita Snigdha Nirikshanananam, Prabhupada explains here, the Lord is never impersonal, but he is the supreme absolute personality of Godhead, possible to be visited by devotional service face to face, which is impossible even for the demigods. So this seeing the Lord face to face, we are seeing these expressions. They're saying prema smita. It's smiling with love. It's not just smiling, just for the sake of it. The smiling with love we can actually see from the face and the eyes, nirikshana ananam, and that affectionate glances and the whole face, we can actually feel that. If it is some impersonal force or something, we can't really feel anything. We say, communication is that body language. And we can see that here in person, how that expressions, and when we see from the other person, how it can actually impact us. So this is just so, amazing, and I'm appreciating the availability of Srimad Bhagavatam. If not for this literature describing this, the very personal nature of the Lord, I mean, so much goes on in India about this impersonal, it's like Brahma Jyoti everywhere, and it's unknown force. I mean, people express in different kinds of ways. We can never understand this personal feature of the Lord, if not for these descriptions from Srimad Bhagavatam, hearing from Srila Prabhupada and all our merciful acharyas who are actually revealing these. Yeah, and Prabhupada says that how is that possible? So we understand, okay, Lord is personal, but we can say, I can't really see him that face to face. So how is it possible? Prabhupada is explaining, possible to be visited by devotional service, face to face. So this opportunity is only given for one who is in this kind of devotional service. And Prabhupada also talks about here how Dwarkavasis are able to have this kind of fortune because of their being pure devotees without any tinge of the material contamination of fruitive activities and empiric philosophical speculation. That is the only reason they're able to see him face to face by the grace of the Lord. So when we have that kind of a devotional service in that mood of love, it's not that, okay, I'm doing so many services, I'm doing all this, so Krishna has to be obliged to my request to show me his form face to face. But it is only by his grace. When he is pleased like that, he actually wants to reveal to his devotees. So that is actually possible from our side. We keep hearing in this Damodar pastime how it's effort and mercy. So from our side, when we have that kind of effort, however tiny it is, it actually pleases the Lord when we have it from our heart with love when we are practicing. So that will be the only qualification which can actually attract Krishna's mercy. And that is the only way we can get this kind of opportunity. And just this one thing, I was thinking in terms of Krishna's beauty. We hear in Nectar of Devotion. Yeah. So Srila Rupa Goswami mentions this in Nectar of Devotion when we are describing about this deity worship. He actually says what is the potency of Krishna's form and what is what it can do just by looking at Krishna's form. I just thought I'll read this from Nectar of Devotion from Prabhupada's rendering of HG Amrita-keli. My dear friend, if you still have any desire to enjoy the company of your friends within this material world, then don't look upon the form of Krishna, who is standing on the bank of Keshi Ghat, a bathing place in Vrindavana. He is known as Govinda, and his eyes are very enchanting. He is playing upon his flute, and on his head there is a peacock feather, and his whole body is illuminated by the moonlight in the sky. So just this description, and Rupa Goswami is putting in an apparent contradicting way. He's saying, okay, if you still want to enjoy the worldly beauties and material things, don't look upon him. The moment you look upon his beautiful face, beautiful form, that's it. All the other things, attraction for all the other things will be finished. So we can understand just by looking at Krishna's form what it can do. And that's what we are actually see in the last line of this prayer by Dwarkavasis. They're saying, Pashyema Rupam Tava Sarva Saubhagam. So this Sarva Saubhagam, all auspiciousness, and just by looking at your beauty, your form, all kinds of auspiciousness come to the living entities and particularly devotees. We can see how this auspiciousness, just by coming in contact with the devotional service, just by looking at the deities, trying to associate with devotees, how our life is filled with that kind of auspiciousness. And this is not like, just we say the Sarva Saubhagam, all auspicious. It's not like, okay, it's benefiting themselves when we say Krishna is all auspicious. It's not that it's just for him. He actually wants to bestow that auspiciousness for everyone who is in contact with him. He is not saying, okay, I'm such a person, how can you serve me, how can you benefit me? He is always eager to award that auspiciousness to the living entities. We see many cases how Krishna actually awards this. But one thing, few things that are coming, but one thing that Sri Vallabha Prabhu mentioned yesterday about this Sudama pastime. Though Sudama is so poor and he couldn't offer anything like really of value except for his love, that little chipped rice in that all torn cloth tied up, even half of it left. But he has so much love. So Krishna actually saw that love and he has awarded him immense wealth. Like he couldn't even imagine that kind of a wealth Krishna has actually bestowed. And there is this other example of fruit seller. She just was like so enchanted with Krishna's beauty and gave this few fruits, and Krishna is so happy with her heartfelt offering. He has filled like the whole fruit basket with all these jewels and gems and all kinds of valuable things. So it's not a big thing for Krishna to really give all these opulences and materialistic auspiciousness. But we hear from Dhruva Maharaj pastime how he says even the kingdom equivalent to or more than Lord Brahma's kingdom, which is like more than the universe, he actually compares all that to broken pieces of glass compared to the Lord and his devotional service and being able to see him. He says, I had found you the gem, but I was actually so full that I was looking for those broken pieces of glass. So we can understand what kind of auspiciousness Krishna is ready to bestow upon us. And we can relate in each of our lives how just by coming in contact with the form of the Lord in terms of his holy names and his form in DT form, in the form of Srimad Bhagavatam, how our lives have changed forever. I mean, what to talk of material auspiciousness. We can see such a kind of peace and happiness and the kind of serenity, like the transformation which we have never experienced earlier in our lives. When we go to book distribution, we encourage the people, just keep this Srimad Bhagavatam in your someplace in your home. It can just bring so much auspiciousness. And it's not just telling in terms of, we just want to distribute Bhagavatam, so we are just saying something just for the sake of it. Actually, there are innumerable examples how just by coming in contact with Srimad Bhagavatam, how the lives have changed forever. So when we hear these kind of pastimes and descriptions from Srimad Bhagavatam and hearing from the devotees, though we don't have that kind of a taste at the current level of practicing, we may not be able to really appreciate to the extent that the devotees are able to appreciate here. But still the opportunity is there, and each of us can relate how just by hearing and being in this association, trying to at least take these messages theoretically, how it can come into true. I mean, at least some kind of glimpses we are also getting. And with those glimpses, if we continue to practice, then we can also have that kind of opportunity. And Prabhupada says here the last statement. This is the original state of the living entities and can be attained by reviving our natural and constitutional state of life, which is discovered by devotional service only. So it's not that we are trying to do something artificial in nectar of devotion. Rupa Goswami describes this example of a child walking. The walking propensity is already within the child. I mean, we may say, okay, I don't have this kind of affinity. I have never practiced devotional service, or my nature is totally different. How can I do this? If it is not within our heart, then whatever we do, we cannot really get it. how much ever we practice. But the beauty of devotional service is it's innate within our hearts, and that will be revived and awakened when it comes into contact with these kind of descriptions and in that kind of association. So when we faithfully serve the devotees and serve Srimad Bhagavatam in that way, that is how we will be able to revive our original state of seeing the Lord face to face. So, in conclusion, we have discussed how Dwarakavasis are recognizing their fortune, the opportunity to come under Krishna's protection, which is possible only by His mercy, that He is choosing to come back to them and giving that kind of protection, being their master. And then how rare it is to be able to see the Lord in person in that face-to-face form, even for the highest beings in this world, like Brahma, Lord Brahma, King Indra, or whoever it is. All these elevated demigods also, they won't be able to see. And then the third line talks about the beautiful face and how Krishna is giving these glances filled with affection, and his smile is filled with love. And that actually tells us how Krishna is so personal. It's not like some impersonal, unimaginable force or something. And Krishna's form is full of auspiciousness, and whoever comes in contact with him in whatever form, the devotional service, which is none other than the Krishna's form itself, we will all be able to receive that kind of auspiciousness. So with that, I'll conclude, and kindly share your thoughts and appreciations for this verse, and kindly forgive me if I have said anything which is not in line with the parampara, and please correct me. Thank you. Shall I volunteer you? Premanand Mataji, I'm sure you'll have a lot of appreciation for these beautiful prayers. Kindly share some nectar and help us understand these better.
Hare Krishna Amrita-keli, please accept my humble obeisance. All glories to Guru Maharaj and Srila Prabhupada. You have given a beautiful class, enjoyed it so much, and thank you so much for, how to say, I think getting into the depth of this verse and expressing from your heart what the verse is conveying, what Srimad Bhagavatam is conveying. It was very beautiful, and thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji.
Amrita-keli Mataji, Sri Vallabhadas here. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Guru Maharaj and Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for that wonderful class. I completely agree with Premana Mataji. It was very, very beautiful. Just especially when you said we have the opportunities of actually seeing the Lord even through his Archa Vigra form. That really, really resonated well with me because yes, that is in fact so true. We are so fortunate that no matter how depressed or how distracted we are, even during the day or night, just sitting in front of the deities, you can see that smile, you can see that reciprocation if you observe closely enough. And when the feeling is intense enough that you connect, that connection becomes so real that you can not only experience it, not only see it, but you can also experience that connection. And even through that connection, you can see the Lord, in a way that is totally indescribable. right? But at the same time, it is so real, though. You can actually feel it. It is so personal. The Lord is so kind. He's so merciful. He reciprocates. So no matter how depressed you are, so or in whatever state of mind that you are, but just that sincerity with which we approach the Lord is so important, because He is always there to reciprocate. He's reciprocating with us. We don't see it, we don't feel it, because we are so caught up in our own ways, and the material energy is so strong that we're constantly under that influence. But if we just consciously take a moment to step aside, hit that pause button, and sit in front of our deities, which, sometimes in the mornings, when deity worship is happening, I'm so happy I'm doing it. During the day, I'm so caught up with all the work that I'm doing that, I'm not thinking consciously. But again, when opportunity presents itself, I'm there either in the afternoon or in the evening or in the night. I happen to spend some time in front of the deities. Immediately it strikes me, the realization comes, it dawns upon me saying that, hey, aren't you seeing this? Aren't you experiencing this? It's so wonderful. It's so beautiful. Why can't you do this more often? That realization happens. But then, again, after that is gone, it's again, we're caught up in the material energy and we're running around. So I think we also need to consciously start nurturing, cultivating, and inculcating that whole aspect of what it's like to be in that experience and relishing that experience of interacting with the Lordship, with the deities. So building that relationship, and that's another reason why we need to be even more grateful to Srila Prabhupada for giving us that opportunity to be able to bring the deities into our homes so that we can interact even more intimately with them. So thank you for bringing that up.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Yeah, that's really embellishing the feelings of Dwarkavasis here. Even in our little spectrum, we are also given that opportunity. I'm seeing, like we go to any other temple, we just go and we say our prayer or ask for whatever things, do a little archana arti and come back, and that's it. The connection is done. As you're sharing, though during the day we are caught up with whatever, but at least that morning and evening we are giving that connection. I mean, where else we can find that kind of a connection and that kind of an opportunity? And we cannot even talk about the connection with Srimad Bhagavatam, how it can completely transform our thoughts and consciousness. Thank you so much, Prabhu, for sharing that.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandot Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Many a times, Prabhupada many times say that, that Archa Vigraha is non-different from Krishna. Even though we have deities at home, we have temple nearby, we don't feel, oh, yeah, deities are there, we'll go, as Srila Prabhupada was describing. The thought came to me when I think about the Tirupati Venkateshwara. People wait in the line for hours together, and then they have only a few seconds or few minutes, not even a minute, it's a fraction of second, they'll push you out. Waiting for 9 hours, 10 hours in the line, then have a darshan, they're very happy. Then only we will feel that, wow, see how important, getting that glimpse. That we won't come every day when we're in front of the deities. So the mood should be that fraction of second when in front of the Balaji, in having the darshan of him in Tirupati, right? That will show how glorious and how, what do you call, we don't feel the value. We don't feel the value. When we go there, we feel that, oh, I had only 1 minute. Some people say, you know what, I did something. The person who was on the line, he did not touch me, or he did not tell me to go. I had 2 minutes of darshan. That is the time we'll feel the value, right? So I was thinking like that. Anyway, thank you very much for your beautiful class. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhu, for bringing that. I had this realization during our Janmashtami this year. I mean, every time Janmashtami, we have so many, general public visiting, but this particular time, because of COVID restrictions, we have a line and social distancing, only few people are allowed inside. So when we went there, it's like, I was thinking what kind of opportunity we have, though Radha Shamsundar are there only for a week or 10 days, still, being given this opportunity, we don't value, as you're saying, okay, yeah, the DTs are there, though we are excited and, probably a little more during that 1 week or 10 days. Still on that day, when I saw just that 1 or 2 minutes darshan and then that's it, you have to go out of the temple, then I realized, wow, what did we have? And, as you say, we'll just take it for granted when we keep having that kind of opportunities. So I think once in a while, I was thinking about this, the personal association of devotees also through Zoom, and all the opportunities are nice, but we don't feel the same kind of connection. And whoever we talk to, the devotees, everybody is like hankering, when can we go back to the temple? We are missing Sunday feast, we are missing all the devotee association. So we want to have that personal connection, that person face-to-face interactions, as we are discussing here. So I'm actually appreciating this year. Probably one way is we got so much opportunity. I mean, this year in the sense 2020 with the COVID, we got so much of additional time and opportunities to hear, chant, and really engage in our practices with more consciousness and more quality. One way is we have got extra time because of the lockdown. The other way is it's just the temporary nature, when what will happen, that really shaken our I'm thinking for myself, just shaking from our lethargic condition. It just gave us that propelling towards that practicing more consciously. So that is actually helping us so much to value what we had. So in a way, I was actually thinking, though it's very difficult, I mean, so much loss and so much turbulence, but this is actually a blessing that we can learn and keep going, understanding the value. Thank you for bringing that.
Yeah, actually, when I go in the evenings to do some, deliver some groceries, etc., I see a lot of people coming outside, and then I was supposed to tell them, hey, it's closed. They're actually not even knocking at the door. So many people are coming, they are actually parking, and then they come out of the car, and they'll even come to the doors sometimes, and then they'll close their eyes, they'll close their hands. They stand there for a few minutes and then go back. They can't even say the details, they're completely closed anyway, but they'll just come to the temple from outside and then offer their obeisances and then go. So that then I felt, oh my God. See, even though I'm inside, I don't have that kind of a bhakti. It's how people are from outside, they're doing all this. Dhananjay Prabhu told me that every day one person comes in the evening, and some people in the morning, no matter what, they come, they have a darshan from outside and then go. They can't even say the details. See, now that's where I felt that, oh my God, see, we don't feel that value. Once this is the case, yeah, the taste has to come, Mataji, yeah, right. Anyway, thank you.
Does anyone else have any further thoughts?
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Yeah, thank you so much for the beautiful class. So I was thinking, when you were talking about the master, what kind of master we have. I mean, if we understand, generally, I think the analogy or the example you gave, we'll be able to see, the master will not appreciate, but that is one thing. Second side, at least we have access to the master in the material, sense. But in the case of Lord Krishna, Brahma who got the service directly, to see the difference between Brahma's post is, it's very, very big, right? To him also, he doesn't have access to the Lord, right? Such a person, there is a difference. There is one is transcendental, the other one is material. That could be the primary reason, right? He doesn't have access to the Lord. But we have, the way you connected that with the deities, access to the deities, the Prabhupada, the opportunity that Prabhupada has given to us, it is like, like phenomenal, right? The kind of, every day we will be able to do Harati with the understanding that we are doing to the Lord, right? Not with some kind of idol worship or something. So with the understanding that he is the supreme Lord and who doesn't have even access to the, direct access, of course. They're like personalities like Brahma, but if we have that understanding, at least we are also having the glimpse of that thing. So at least through the Bhagavatam. So, thank you so much.
Prabhu. Thank you so much. 7:56. Any last thoughts or comments? Okay, if we don't have anything, thank you so much for joining this morning. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavibhyo namo